From there, we now go straight to the World Malaria Day. You know, just joined the CAS initiative, but about using football to eradicate malaria. And a lot of people question, how do you use football to eradicate malaria? Is that possible? Literally, that's not possible. But that avenue is where people gather to play football. And this is where you see celebrities, comedians coming together, notable personality in the media and the comedy world coming together to enable them actually give themselves together so that we'll talk about malaria. We talk about kicking out malaria. Malaria is a deadly virus which have been a problem in Africa and every other part of the world. So when celebrities, comedians come together to play football, it is at this venue they get to talk about malaria. They get to talk about how to eradicate malaria. So that's why in the commemoration of the World Malaria Day, this particular event is put together by Irabo to enable them to talk so much on this. So that's why we are able to have personality. So you might be wondering that which of these personality can you identify on your screen and to enable them to be bringing all this. So it's not just about that. There are free malaria tests, treatment, distributions of malaria drugs, and many vendors were there, and that was held at the campus mini square in Lagos Island, where we spoke with Frankie Dor and SODK, and not forgetting many of these, and also the initiator of Join the CAS initiative. So these are moments for us to know that sport brings together the whole world. Sport brings together people who have the same like minds to eradicate the same problem we all face, malaria and the sickness of that comes out as a result of it. So it's a friendly football tournament. On the blue is the media personality. On green we have the comedians. If you look probably you'll be seeing one of your notable influencers in comedy and also media personalities who has come together. You see Ali Baba also there. Ali Baba was part of the media personality that came, not to play, he didn't come to play this time around, but also he was there to distribute the trophy and to make sure that we all have a fun, fair day. So this is speaking to Frankie Dor and not forgetting SODK about World Malaria Day.
At the population of Nigeria, if you're going to do a poll, I'm sure that 99% of them are football lovers. So, why not use the thing that they love to attract them? Since 2013, we have tested over 1 million people. So, we use the Novelty Match initiative and we do our monthly outreach programs in rural areas, schools, markets, and everything. So we're not just only doing the football match. This is somewhat of a staple because people enjoy football and entertainment. But over the years, yes, for us to have been doing it since 2013 and being at the mark of 1 million plus tested for malaria, different types of health issues. We will continue doing it until we find a solution to it permanently.
Yeah, of course. Football is, if I'm not mistaken, the most popular sports in the world. And people in Nigeria are some of the highest consumers of football because that's just what it is. So how else to appeal to people to come out and get tested, get vaccinated and things than to organize a match between media personalities and comedians? You get what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah, if you want to sensitize the public about something that is not so fun to do. If you tell someone, I want to tell you about malaria, they think it's boring, and because of this generation that has short attention span, it's good to use something. So under the auspices of football, you can use that to disseminate information. So if maybe it's a cancer cause, you have to use something that everybody keys into, that is in terms of population, everybody listens to that, then you ride on the coattails of that. In this case, football. Everybody loves football. I think we've done it for so many years, and I think using football as a vehicle to disseminate information about prevention of malaria, eradicating it, I think is
If you're just joining us, we've been talking about football. Earlier, we still have our guest from Estonia talking about the man I know, respect so well, Shimwa Agbabiaka. Shimwa Agbabiaka, I'm sure you've been following us all these other reports and stories we've been bringing to you. I'm sure you're having a feel of what Nigeria is. You've left Nigeria for some time. I'm sure you're seeing some personalities. You're seeing people. Are you thinking of coming back soon?
Well, yes, Nigeria is my home. I feel like coming home anytime soon.
Yeah, you also want to talk about the importance of using football to do many things, not just eradicating malaria. You know, what football is a global message. It's a global message to people. So a lot of other sectors, the health sectors, the music sectors, all come together to ensure that football is being used to pass the message. Like Frank Edor said, that it's a vehicle to drive your message. If you want to talk to a particular a particular problem we share together, we use a particular thing that gives us joy. So football, like we also know that it's 99%, but I think that's too big on the side. I don't think 99% of people like football. I think we are just like 70% of people like football. We've not showcased a lot of people that don't like football. Have you ever come across a male person? I've come across a male person that doesn't like football. We allow the noise of those that allow football to think every other male personality likes football. Have you ever come across a male person that doesn't like football?
Well, I wonder what they like if they don't like football, actually. But
Huh?
I've seen. I wonder what they like if they don't like football.
Oh,
Actually, I
there
don't
are
know.
many other things about football, I tell you.
Yeah, the
I
different
tell
concerns.
you.
Yeah, I've seen some couple of guys who don't pay attention to sport at all. At all, they
At
don't
all, you
love
see,
music.
not even football, sport
Yeah,
at all.
yeah, at all. They prefer music, entertainment, every other form of entertainment than football. But in general, I like the initiative. Using football to eradicate malaria is a welcome development. I mean, like Frank Idol said, if you're going to speak about anything that is deadly, I mean, you have to use the medium that resonates with a lot of people. And football generally is one of the aspects that resonates with this current generation, especially. So it's a good development, and of course, having them vaccinated, bringing them awareness about what malaria could cause, the effects, and the consciousness to the heart of the people. Using sport to do that is a very welcome development. I've also said sometimes when I listen to many political debates, when they talk about trying to make foreign investment and all, I always say that we have so many Nigerian players playing abroad. Why don't you bring in policies like tax haven where a player stays abroad and they can pay the money back to our country? But nobody's looking into that. But of course, yeah, so many things that we can do with football. So many. It can even be natural resources on its own. I mean, Brazil, take for example, football is one of their major national resources. So football is a good opportunity to talk about cases of malaria and any other information, whether it's cancer, whether it's whatever. Football is a welcome development.
Well said, but you know, some of us we try as much as possible to ensure that other sports don't suffer in promoting football all the time because you know we have other sports. But why do you think people don't use other sports to pass that message across and give that so right to football? Because I'm sure you can pass the same message you tend to pass when when you do table tennis, for instance. When you do basketball, you can use basketball to also pass the same message. When you do table tennis, when you do tennis, when you do squash, when you do badminton, when you do swimming, you can as well pass the same message you intend to pass. But why so much rush for football? Because there's this narrative that it's football that has the loudest audience. But I think that's not the case most of the time. What's your view on what I just said, Sean Agbabiaka?
Well, because I mean, generally, I mean, back in the days where we started supporting football since 1990s, you know, a lot of people have started picking the club that they want to support. Some of the people will say that I'm a fan of Chelsea, I'm a fan of Man U, Liverpool, whatever, and then continue with the gradual process, even it was most of the time around the men, and then I think it comes to a consciousness, and the ladies also know that for you to have your attention of your man, you need to go outside to watch football with him. So it became more of a porosity, and a lot of people likes football in general. So if you speak to so many ladies nowadays, most of them even can you can actually mention the names of players by hand. So it's like I said, it's a very loud sport that people resonate with so much. So that I think that's where the awareness of football comes in play. It's one of the best way to disseminate information if you really want to get your audience to listen to you.
I mean, it's something interesting to always want to talk about. But now, let's take our mind. I'm sure our producer will let's take our mind away from World Malaria Day as we also go back to. It will not be a surprise that we look at our first topic we've been talking about whether